Hello and welcome to Newsfeed, your daily dose of what people are talking about online, from news stories to what's trending. It was a kiss that completely overshadowed a historic sporting achievement, the pinnacle of 22 footballers' careers. Less of a kiss, more of an assault by the then president of Spanish football, Luis Rubiales, on striker Jenny Hermoso. After weeks of calls to step down, finally he's agreed to resign. Rubiales announced his resignation during an interview with Piers Morgan.
About my resignation, yes, I'm going to do.
You're going to resign?
Yeah, I'm going to. Yes, because I cannot continue my work.
What was the final moment for you? Was it talking to your family, your dad perhaps?
Yeah, my father, my daughters, I spoke with them. It's not, they know it's not a question about me and some friends very, very close to me. And they say to me, Luis, now you have to focus in your dignity and to continue your life, because if not, probably you are going to damage people you love, and the sport you love, and the beat you built with some people.
Luis Rubiales planted the kiss on Jenny Hermoso's lips as she joined her teammates to collect their medals after winning the World Cup 3 weeks ago. He said the kiss was consensual. She said it was not. And so began an unedifying drama that has rocked Spain to the core. During the awards ceremony, Rubiales kissed all the Spain players. He kissed Hermoso on the lips. She reacted later by saying she did not enjoy it. After fierce criticism, Rubiales issues a feeble statement saying he's sorry for those who were offended. As pressure builds and the story goes global, the Spanish Football Association calls an emergency meeting. Contrary to expectations, Rubiales does not resign. Instead, he says the kiss was consensual. Hours later, Hermoso posts on Instagram rebuffing his claims and insisting at no time was his kiss ever consensual. On August the 26th, football's governing body FIFA announces it's suspending Rubiales pending the outcome of disciplinary proceedings. 2 days later, his mother goes on hunger strike in a church to highlight the inhumane hunt on her son. She insists he's incapable of hurting anyone. After increasing condemnation, including from the Spanish men's national team, Hermoso formally submits a complaint about Rubiales to the country's national prosecutor's office. And finally, on September the 10th, Rubiales steps down. The controversy made headlines around the world. It inspired murals and memes and was dubbed Spain's Me Too moment. In Spain, it's all anyone could talk about. Many condemned him, but surprisingly some, even women, defended Rubiales and attacked Jenny Hermoso. But that was the minority.
Toxic culture like this have been ingrained in the Spanish Football Federation for years. It's nothing new. The players have asked for change multiple times. I'm so glad that it's finally hitting mainstream media, because maybe that will actually help something change.
There's a swirling social media firestorm after American actor Danny Masterson was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison for raping 2 women. The judge last week handed Masterson the maximum possible sentence, resisting calls from 50 of his family, friends, and colleagues for a more lenient sentence. His former That 70s Show co-stars Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, Kurtwood Smith, and Deborah Jo Rupp are among the 50 who had written character reference letters to the court after the actor's conviction in May. They mostly highlighted how he was a good influence on the younger cast of the show and his commitment to discouraging drug use. Ironic, considering Masterson's victims both testified that they were drugged before being violently raped. Well, those character reference letters have come under intense criticism online after being made public on Friday. Actor Ashton Kutcher and his wife Mila Kunis uploaded this apology on Instagram.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years, so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read, and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that. And we're sorry if that has taken place.
But the criticism has only intensified after that apology video. One of Masterson's victims, Chrissy Carnell-Bixler, condemned the married couple for their apology and support letters. She even accused Kutcher of questionable past behavior with women, too. Others are now seeing actor Topher Grace's lack of a relationship with Masterson and the rest of the That 70s Show cast in a different light now. Grace left the hit show before its final season, and it was an open secret that Masterson acted like a cult leader on set and bullied Grace. Actor Christina Ricci was one of the thousands online voicing support for victims of abuse, saying sometimes people we have loved do horrible things. People we know as awesome guys can be predators and abusers. She went on to reference her own personal experiences, urging people to believe victims. It's not easy to come forward, and it's not easy to get a conviction.
When are people going to realise that it doesn't matter how nice someone is to you, they could still be a rapist? A friend of mine's boyfriend was once asked to write a character reference for a man who had been accused of rape, and he refused to do it because he knew that just because this guy was perfectly nice to him didn't mean that he was not capable of raping someone. Rapists don't walk around with a sign on their head. They don't tell people that they do that, and that's how they get away with doing it for so long. I'm not defending Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher here by any stretch of the imagination. They should have known better, especially with the work that they do, and their apology video was not an apology. It was an attempt to save themselves.
So, Mila, you say that you believe the victim, both of whom were S8 because Danny gave them substances to subdue them. Yet in your letter of support, you mentioned multiple times that Danny is drug-free, that he's living a healthy life, he does not use substances. So please tell me why you're so adamant about underlining that specific fact that you believe to be true. Unless you want to invalidate the validity of the statements the victims made.
Now, by way of background, Masterson was a very popular sitcom actor from That 70s Show, and he was also a prominent member of the Church of Scientology. It's alleged that at the height of his fame, two different women were drugged by him and were viciously attacked. And when I say viciously, I mean viciously. There were allegations pertaining to other individuals, but because of a lack of evidence or because of a statute of limitation issues, i.e. charges couldn't be brought in time, those charges were not either proceeded with or he was not found guilty of. And apparently these two victims, who were also members of that church, were told, don't report him, you don't do that, that's not okay. And so were kind of horribly robbed of their rights in order to seek justice against him.
Then there's an uncomfortable clip from a talk show that's resurfaced that many people online say shows some inkling of Danny Masterson's predatory behavior. Some are even saying that host Conan O'Brien predicted the actor's downfall almost 20 years ago.
You have no Long Island accent that I can discern.
Not really. I've been in LA for like 10 years.
And it just goes away naturally, right?
It goes away naturally, and then there's also certain words that there's nothing you can do about. Like my friend Bodie Elfman, he always teases me and he says, "Hi, my name is Danny Masterson. Would you like to touch my You know, doing an imitation of me. Because certain words
why
you
are
just
you
can't
asking
get away
people
with.
to do that? That's the more important question.
I mean, you got them.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Accent
Everybody
aside,
should grab.
that's the more important thing.
Exactly.
I've heard about you. And you'll be caught soon. I know you will.
I will.
Daniel Zhang has stepped down as head of Alibaba's cloud division. The surprise departure comes just 2 months after the Chinese e-commerce giant announced that Zhang would move from his roles as group CEO and chairman to focus on the cloud division. He now passes on the reins of the cloud division to newly appointed CEO Eddie Wu. Zhang joined Alibaba in 2007. The platform's annual Singles Day shopping festival is his brainchild. In 2015, he assumed the position of CEO and was appointed chairman in 2019. He took over both roles from the e-commerce giant's co-founder Jack Ma. The changes come as Alibaba navigates a complicated overhaul that will see the company being broken up into different units. Since peaking in 2020, Alibaba has lost 70% of its value. It's now worth $230 billion. Okay, that's still a lot of money, but Beijing has cracked down on the entire internet sector in China. It has targeted Alibaba for what it calls anti-competitive behavior and abuse of its market dominance. Shares in the company fell more than 4% on Monday as investors reacted to the new leadership changes. Not keen to be left behind in the artificial intelligence space, Chinese companies have launched their own versions of ChatGPT. Like their American rival, the Chinese chatbots can write market analyses and generate images. China recently green-lighted the release of its first AI chatbots, including one from tech giant Baidu. But as consumers start playing around with the products, it looks like controversial content has been censored.
The AI chatbot wars heat up in China as Dubao and ErnieBot join the battle. ByteDance just launched Dubao, not to be confused with Grace the creepy human clone bot and viral vlogger Xiaoich, and Baidu released ErnieBot after sucking up to regulators. Both companies got approval from China's overbearing internet regulators because free speech is overrated. Dubao can chat, write, and pretend to have human feelings. Just don't ask about Xinjiang camps or Xi Jinping's hidden assets. ErnieBot summarizes documents and answers questions, as long as you don't mention Taiwan independence or Tiananmen Square 89. The bots still make mistakes, like claiming China has a free press, fair elections, and honors human rights. But give them time. Their AI overlords are always watching, reading private messages, and absorbing state propaganda. Soon, they'll be as patriotic as any 50-cent army troll. The future looks bright for artificial intelligence in China. Who needs basic freedoms when you can have riveting conversations about socialism with the Chinese characteristics and the China dream? Just hope the bots don't become self-aware and realize they're trapped in an Orwellian dystopia.
All right, on to what's trending. And today, it's an all-women DJ collective in China. They're keen to shake up the industry still very much dominated by men. Sarah reports on their musical mission.
It's a club night in Shanghai, and DJ Breezy is dancing to her own beat. By day, she's a legal professional. But at night, she trades in her legal pad for a mixer, some sick beats, and a dose of feminism. Breezy is one of many women DJs in China tired of the nightlife industry's double standards, where a woman's appearance can matter as much as her musical skill.
Women in the industry are often judged by their physical attributes, for example, their looks or other characteristics that are considered female. But male artists are mostly regarded for their music, so there's an aspect of gender inequality here.
Breezy is part of a music collective called Scandal, which champions women producers.
My all-female music label is called Scandal. I hope it'll be able to properly strengthen women's visibility in underground music. This way, there can be more female producers in the electronic music scene.
Eloise Fan regularly holds workshops to teach women how to DJ and produce music. She says she co-founded Scandal to make the Chinese nightclub scene safer and more welcoming towards women.
There are a lot of strange requirements for women. For example, one of the artists from our label told me she had previously been asked for her chest, waist, and hip measurements for a show. I hope that one day women won't need to wear cleavage-revealing clothes, short skirts, or wear heavy makeup and still receive performance opportunities and be equal with male performers.
Scroll through social media and it looks like female DJs in China are making bank. But many say they have a harder time kickstarting and sustaining their careers in an industry where men are still the gatekeepers. DJs like Empress Cici feel they have to work so much harder than their male counterparts.
For talented female DJs to be able to make a name for themselves, it's much harder than male DJs, who started at the same time and are at the same level. For many of us, it takes much longer, and you're expected to socialize more and really sell yourself as a DJ.
But it's all in a hard day's work in this underground space, where class is in session and women are learning how to develop an ear for musical composition. And the fruits of the collective's labor can be heard on its latest mixtape, aptly titled Shanghai Dreams.
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.